Why discipline alone isn't enough to succeed in trading. Hundreds of thousands of traders are trying every single day to become more disciplined so they can finally succeed. They hit the gym, run until their legs give out, meditate, and read books. They force themselves to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, take cold showers, and quit coffee. They do dopamine detoxes, delete social media, stay away from drama, and repeat affirmations every day to strengthen their beliefs. Yet they still lose money, they still break their trading rules, and after every loss they tell themselves they simply need to become even more disciplined, even tougher on themselves, until they're mentally exhausted. In the end, they keep blowing up their trading accounts over and over again. So what's really missing? Does any of this sound familiar? There's one belief that's incredibly common in life, and in most cases, it works. Success equals self-discipline. It sounds perfectly reasonable. But if that were completely true, every soldier would be a millionaire trader. Every professional athlete would have no problem building a seven-figure trading account. Every meditation master would never revenge trade. Clearly, that's not how reality works. In everyday life, if you're disciplined about your health, eating well, living an active lifestyle, and exercising consistently, you'll most likely become healthier, stronger, and more energetic. In business, consistently meeting more potential clients will usually lead to better sales results. In other words, when you do the right things, you generally get the right results. Trading is different. In trading, you can do everything right and still end up with a losing trade. At the same time, you can break every rule, go all in, overtrade, refuse to use a stop loss, and still make money on that particular trade. That's what leaves your disciplined brain completely confused. And if you've already been successful in another profession, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, or a CEO, it can be even harder to accept this paradox in trading. So how do you deal with uncertainty in the markets? The answer is understanding how probability works in trading. Unlike almost every other area of life, a setup that has produced winning trades hundreds of times in the past still doesn't guarantee that the next trade will be a winner. Once you truly understand this, you'll stop looking at every individual trade as a test of whether you were right or wrong. Instead, you'll begin to see each trade as just one outcome within a larger probability distribution, and you'll only need to remember one thing. After a large enough sample of trades executed according to your rules, the long-term results will eventually tilt in your favor. Once you understand that, you won't be afraid of losing trades anymore. At the same time, you won't become overconfident or greedy after a winning streak. Just imagine how lost a trader can become when following every rule leads to a losing trade. The next time the exact same setup appears, fear keeps them from taking it, and that trade turns out to be a winner. That's when the emotional pain begins. Now imagine the opposite. A trader wins 3 trades in a row. They start feeling invincible. When the fourth setup appears, they're so confident that they risk their entire account because they're convinced this trade simply can't lose. And then, it loses. In just a few moments, they fall from heaven straight into hell. When a trader reaches that level of emotional turmoil, they're far more likely to make poor decisions or start revenge trading without following any rules at all. That's why discipline alone isn't enough in trading. Real success comes from combining discipline with a trading system that has positive expectancy over the long run. In the next video, I'll explain exactly what a positive expectancy trading system is and why understanding that concept is the key to finally executing your trades without fear. Subscribe so you don't miss it.